Hey everyone, welcome back to the Character Quest YouTube channel. Here's the question for today. What are the traits that build a high performance company culture? We're going to explore that today. That's the question that Gallup's Q12 engagement survey, I don't know if you've ever heard of that, the Q12 engagement survey. This is the question that they explored over a decade ago, and still to this very day, their findings hold true. How do I know that? Because I've used this research to help organizations, big and small, increase their engagement. And we're going to run through that today. After lots and lots of data collection, Gallup landed on these 12 traits that they believe every culture should focus on, embody, and develop to boost engagement and ultimately boost their business outcomes. So my question for you is, does your culture have these traits? Let's find out. Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Derek Matthews, the co-founder of Character Quest, where we help you, yes, you, become the greatest leadership version of yourself. If you want to level up your leadership skills, then hit that subscribe button down below and hit the bell to be notified when we post a weekly video. And also check us out over on Instagram, where I post pretty much every day. I try to be good about that. I post leadership content over there every day. And have a lot of fun doing it. And I'd love to see you over there and engage with you personally. And last but not least, I'm really excited. You know, I talked about this last week in the video that we just launched a podcast. And the podcast is called the Character Quest Podcast. And this podcast is designed where I go really, really deep into these topics that we talk about over here on YouTube. And I'd love to see you over there too. Search for the Character Quest Podcast and subscribe, give it 5 stars, and you would make my day doing that. So why am I talking about this survey? Well, a few years ago, we were hired by a large client with extremely low employee engagement, low morale, and lack of enthusiasm and overall trust in leadership. And the list really goes on. We were hired to help turn this company around. And it was, like I said, a large company. So this was quite the feat. So we put together a custom program to develop their emerging, existing, and executive leaders on the skills necessary to create a highly engaged culture where people actually liked to come to work. So what did we turn to do this? We created this custom program based on the 12 traits of the Gallup Q12 survey. Each question, the survey is designed to be questions. There's 12 questions. I'm calling them traits. But each of those questions or traits fall within one of 4 needs. There are basic needs, individual needs, teamwork needs, and growth needs. And so, long story short, over the period of 3 years, we dramatically improved engagement with this company. It was so awesome to witness. They went from some of their lowest engagement scores to their highest on company record. And we were part of that journey, and it was awesome to see. And so I really believe in this Q12 engagement survey, and that's why I'm talking about it today to you. So if you want to improve engagement for your company, then stay with me until the end of this video, because I'm going to walk you through 6 of the 12 today. This is going to be a part 1. And if you want to go deeper, because I'm just going to highlight these today on the video. If you want to go deeper, head on over to the Character Quest Podcast, where I go very deep into each one of these first 6 of the 12, and you don't want to miss it. It's really fun, and I go really deep. So trait number 1 is expectations. So here's the question on the survey. Do your direct reports know what is expected of them at work? So expectations are huge. People need to know, to be engaged, what they're supposed to do when they come to work and where they fit within the organization. If you don't know those 2 things, it's really hard to be engaged. I mean, it's human nature. It's like, what am I showing up here at work for if I don't really know where I fit? So help people find their fit, find their target that they're aiming towards every day. They have to know their fit. Trait number 2 is equipment and resources. Here's the question. Do your direct reports have the equipment and materials they need? This is super important. If we don't have the stuff to do our job, we can't be engaged. This has to do with materials, equipment, tools, and resources and software, things of that sort. It would be very hard for me to make this video if I didn't have the proper equipment, if I didn't have the proper editing software. That would be very, very difficult. So I have that stuff and I am engaged because I know I can get my job done. Now, one thing I want you to think about is with the remote workforce, a lot of people are working from home. And so they don't have all the equipment that they would have at the corporate office or the office. So you as the manager have to check in and make sure they have what they need. If you can't fulfill every need, they at least know you care about them. That's what's important here. Trait number 3 is the opportunity to do what I do best. Here's the question. Do your employees have the opportunity to do what they do best every day? Here we're talking about applying strengths. You've got to turn your organization, your culture into one where everyone knows their strengths. How do you identify strengths? How do you have a lexicon of what strengths are? Well, over on the Character Quest podcast, I talk about this at length and go deep into a long list of different strengths and what they mean. And so I encourage you to go over to the Character Quest podcast, listen to that, and walk through that list with your direct reports and see which 5 strengths stand out to them. And then have a conversation about that. Have everyone go around the room and say what their strengths are. And by room, I mean Zoom room, because most of us are working on Zoom now. Trait number 4 is recognition. This one is huge. Here's the question. In the last 7 days, have you received praise or recognition for doing good work? So our team has worked with thousands of leaders from startup to Fortune 500 on this theme. And it comes up again and again. People do not feel recognized for their work. They just feel like they're busybodies getting tasks done and they never get a pat on the back. We want a pat on the back. That's a human need. Everyone needs it, maybe in a different way, but we all need recognition. It is super important. Here's why, and I'm going to read this to you. Praise and recognition causes serotonin to start flowing in your brain. Serotonin is the happy chemical you feel on that one day a year. Do you know that one day a year when people celebrate your existence? It's your birthday. That's right. Everyone feels good on their birthday, unless you're just a miserable person. I think everyone likes their birthday because people are celebrating you and it makes you feel good. Well, that feel good chemical is serotonin. And so when you can make people feel like it's their birthday every day, in a sense, and your culture feels like that, then people feel recognized. It's incredibly important to authentically celebrate the wins of your coworkers. Do not make it a check the box recognition program. Now, I've seen this happen time and time again where HR finds some recognition checkbox program online and then sends out an email and has everyone fill out 1 or 2 recognition cards to people a week. And they think, okay, now we've got a recognition program. That's not a recognition. Well, it is a recognition program, but it's ineffective. It's inauthentic. And people know you're just doing it because you have to check the box. It's called fake praise. That's what I call it, fake praise. Instead, encourage your coworkers and employees to praise 1 or 2 people every day from the goodness of their heart and just have it be like some verbal thing. Hey, good job on that today. Hey, I saw that you had some great points in that meeting today. Good job. It could be as simple as that. And you'd be surprised how big of a difference this makes in a culture. Okay, trait number 5, someone at work cares about me. Does your supervisor or someone at work care about you as a person? This one is pretty simple. It's just about being a good person, showing genuine interest in those you work with, asking them how their family's doing, how has their transition been, working from home, because everyone is struggling with that in numerous ways. And we don't have to necessarily get into mental health on this channel, but everyone in some mental health way is challenged. They feel stuck at home. They feel lonely. frustrated, hopeless, and we all need to come together and talk to one another. And you as a manager need to check in with your people and just see how they're doing. Show them that you care. That's what that looks like right now in the times that we are experiencing. Call someone, that one of your direct reports, and check in on them. See how they're doing. Okay, and our last trait for today is trait number 6, which is someone at work encourages my development. And here's the question. Does someone at work encourage your development? Every employee needs assistance navigating the course of their career. Everyone wants a manager that's their champion, that's their growth champion. Are you a champion of the learning, growth, and development of the people you lead? Are you really celebrating their learning, their growth, and their development? Do you even know how to do that? Do you even know how to share that? I'm going to give you a few tips on how to really be a champion of someone else's growth. One, you got to be trustworthy, because if you're not trustworthy, no one's going to want to share their growth and development aspirations with you. You've got to ask coaching questions. Make networking introductions. Nothing shows that you trust someone and believe in someone more than opening them up to your network. If they want to develop a skill that maybe you don't have expertise in, but you say, I've got a neighbor or a friend or someone that has that skill. I'm going to connect you with them on LinkedIn. That's showing that you care about learning, growth, and development. You've got to give feedback. Give feedback more often than you think. And last but not least, you have to invest in development. Gallup found that opportunities to learn and grow was one of the top 3 factors that millennials consider when working for a company or choosing a company. So those are just 5 quick examples. In the podcast, I go a lot deeper on each one of these. And again, I encourage you to go over there and listen to that. Well, there you have it. The first 6 questions or traits of a high-performance, engaging culture via the Gallup Q12 survey. That's a mouthful. I'm so thankful that you came over and watched this video. And next week, we'll dive into the other 6, and we'll have a lot of fun doing it. If you want to build an engaging culture, these are the things you should focus on. Thanks again, and have a great day.